My name is Emily, and my life was once like a fairy tale. I met Michael when I was just 22, and from the very beginning, we clicked. It was like fate had brought us together. He wasn't just my husband, he was my best friend, my confidant, and my soulmate. Together, we built a life full of love, laughter, and dreams. We started with nothing but our love for each other, and over the years, we turned that love into something beautiful. We bought a little house together, a cozy cottage with a red door that we both loved. It wasn't big, but it was perfect. Michael and I spent countless weekends fixing things around the house, painting the walls, putting together furniture, and dreaming about the life we'd have there. We didn't have much, but we had each other, and that was enough. Every corner of that house held memories of us, our first Christmas together, late-night talks, our plans for the future. It was more than just a house, it was our home. We had big plans for our future. We talked about raising children, about growing old together in that house, and about all the adventures we'd have. We were excited for the life ahead of us, a life filled with love and shared dreams. But fate had other plans. Michael's death came suddenly, and it shattered everything. At 36, he passed away unexpectedly from a heart attack. It was the kind of news that doesn't even feel real. I was in shock. One minute, he was there with me, and the next, he was gone. The man I had built my whole life around was no longer there, and I didn't know how to live without him. How could I? How could anyone? My world crumbled in an instant. The days after his death were a blur. I was numb, just going through the motions of organizing a funeral and speaking to people who tried to comfort me. I was too broken to truly hear them. Michael was gone, and nothing in this world could ever fill that empty space. But that wasn't the worst part. No, the worst part was yet to come. Just a few days after the funeral, I found myself standing in front of our house, hoping to find some peace. I needed to be there. I needed to be in the place where Michael and I had shared our dreams. But when I reached the door, something was wrong. The locks had been changed. My heart dropped. I stood there, staring at the door, wondering if maybe I had forgotten something. Maybe I was losing my mind. But no, the locks were definitely changed. I knocked, hoping it was a mistake. But when the door opened, it wasn't Michael. It was Susan, his mother, and she didn't greet me with the warmth I had once known. Instead, she looked at me coldly. "You need to leave," she said, her tone flat. "The house is mine now." I stood there, speechless. "What do you mean?" I asked, my voice trembling. "This is our house. Michael and I built this life together. We worked so hard for this." She didn't even flinch. "Michael changed his will just before he died. The house is mine now. You're not part of this family anymore." The words hit me like a physical blow. I couldn't breathe. My body felt like it was on fire. This wasn't happening. I had just buried the love of my life, and now his family was throwing me out of our home. The house we had shared, the home I had worked so hard to create with Michael, they were taking it all away from me. Where am I supposed to go? I asked, desperation creeping into my voice. She shrugged, unconcerned. "That's not my problem. Figure it out." I was numb. How could she say that to me? How could she treat me like this? I had spent years with her son, had loved him with all my heart. And now, in the blink of an eye, they were tossing me aside like I didn't matter. It wasn't just the house they were taking from me, it was everything Michael and I had worked for. It was the life we had dreamed of together. They thought they could just erase me, and I couldn't let that happen. With no place to go, I had no choice but to sleep in my car. I parked it in quiet streets, hoping no one would notice. I was tired, both physically and emotionally. My heart was broken, and yet I had to keep going. I had to fight. Michael wouldn't want me to give up, and I wasn't going to. They thought they could break me. They thought they could take everything from me. But they were wrong. The next few days were difficult. I barely slept, my mind racing with thoughts of how to fight back. I knew I had to do something. I couldn't just let his family get away with this. I didn't have much, but I had a fire in me, a will to fight for what was mine. I started going through Michael's things, looking for something that could help me. I knew it would be painful, but I had no choice. That's when I found it, a small, worn notebook hidden in one of his drawers. I opened it and found that it wasn't just any notebook. It was a journal, but it contained more than just personal thoughts. It had instructions, legal documents, things that Michael had set up to protect me. Michael had known what his family was capable of. He had anticipated that they might try to take everything from me. He had set up safeguards, things that would protect my rights as his wife. I felt a surge of hope rush through me. Michael had left me a way to fight back, to take what was rightfully mine. It wasn't just a house or money that he had protected, it was my future, my dignity, and the life we had shared together. With this newfound knowledge, I contacted a lawyer. The process was slow, but I was determined. I wasn't going to let them win. They thought they could push me around, intimidate me, erase me from Michael's life. But they didn't know who they were messing with. I wasn't going to be broken. I wasn't going to back down. The legal battle was brutal. Each day brought more pain, more heartbreak. I had to relive my grief again and again, all while facing off against a family who was doing everything they could to take from me. They lied, they manipulated, and they tried to use their wealth and power to crush me. But they didn't count on my determination. They didn't count on the love Michael and I had shared, or on the truth that would ultimately save me. As the case went on, I uncovered more about their deceit. They thought they could hide it, but I found the truth. Michael had made his wishes clear, and he had set up everything to ensure I would be taken care of. The courts saw it too. The judge ruled in my favor, stating that Michael's family had acted in an unconscionable manner. The house was mine. It was mine, just as Michael had wanted. It wasn't just a victory in the courtroom. It was a victory for my dignity. It was a victory for my love, for Michael's memory, and for everything we had built together. I didn't just win a house, I won my right to stand tall, to fight back against the betrayal, and to show his family that they couldn't erase me. I didn't take revenge. I didn't have to. The truth was enough. The truth was my weapon. And in the end, that truth brought me justice. I rebuilt my life. I found peace. I still miss Michael every day, but I know that he would be proud of me. I stood my ground. I didn't let them win. I didn't let them take what was ours. It wasn't just about the house, or the money, or the possessions. It was about the love we shared, the life we built, and the justice that was rightfully mine. And in the end, the biggest mistake his family made was underestimating me. They thought they could push me around, take everything from me, but they were wrong. They made a huge mistake, and I made sure they knew it. They didn't break me. They made me stronger. I am Emily, and I am not just a widow. I am a fighter. I am a survivor. And in the end, I won.